to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone, this is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. And we're going to do a review of September 20th's NXT show. And they go in, or they start off with official business. Official business. We have official business. Shawn Michaels is there, and he's pretty much telling... he's got Carmelo and Solo there, and he's pretty much telling Solo, hey, look, man, you weren't a part. You were not supposed to be here. You kind of surprised us. You weren't voted in, so you got to give the belt back. Look, you're over on the other show. We need this belt here. So, Solo says, okay. He lets Melo know, hey, I told you I was coming for you, and he did. So, they do a good little spot there, though. So Solo gives up the belt. He tells him that, and then he leaves. And you've got Carmelo wanting the belt back, like given to him. And Shawn lets him know, hey, no, it doesn't work that way. That there will be a tournament, and you will be a part of the tournament, but that's the way that goes. And after that, they go into a match. It's the continuation of the best of three match with Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And it is a banger. These guys are just great. It really shows you that the future is good in WWE, because these two guys were on time. They were on target. Their moves were slick. I know they've probably wrestled them against each other quite a bit, but this match was good. It is a must-see. It is a B match, maybe even a B+. Hey, that's how good it was. It actually lasted a good while, so it is a must-see. It is a must-see. Go back and check it out. But then they're going to go into a little bit of their promos, and you got Mandy starting it off, of course, and they got to get her some screen time, so they do a promo, and then you're going to have Alba Fire doing hers. And she's pretty much telling Mandy, hey, I'm going to burn it down. I'm going to tear it down and build it back up. But good promo, but they can't go too long without bringing out Toxic Attraction. So they bring them out, and they're referring to their upcoming match and how good they are, and they are ready to get the belt back. But now we get we get going. We get going here now. We got Damien Kemp doing his spot where he's explaining him turning on the Creed brothers. So he goes through the whole scenario of, that he is the one that orchestrated the whole thing. He had to get the phone back from Roderick. So, how you going to do that? You're going to whoop him and take his phone. So that's what he pretty much said. He whooped him and took the phone. And then he calls the brothers out. Hey, one at a time with the other one in the back. I'll take you on. I'm a world-class athlete. He's saying that he's going to back it up. Bag it up. So, hey, if you can, it's not bragging if you can back it up. So that was a good promo. It was a good promo. Then they go into a quick promo with Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley, and Tatum's trying to get Ivy on the same page because they have a match coming up against Toxic Attraction. She says her head's right, and they go out, and of course it's a commercial break, and they're going to go back into that. And I glanced over at some of my notes, and I saw something that throws me off every time I see it. So, so they're going to go into a match, which they do, and it's Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley versus Toxic Attraction, and it is a pretty good match. Toxic, they're a good tag team. Okay, they're a good tag team. And Niall and Paxley, they're okay too. But now Ivy is just like a freaking pit bull, man. She is just jacked. I mean, she must be spending tons of time in the gym. But it's a good match, and Toxic ends up winning the match. Okay, yeah. I think that's about all I'm going to go on that. They got JD. They do a little promo with JD showing up at the arena, and then they have the. I'm sorry, I got a little schism. But they go into a schism with a dyad, of course, with Fowler and Reed. And they're pretty much, tired of how it's been going. They're tired of what's been going on, so they are going to take it into their own hands. And if they invite you and you don't come, you're going to get whooped on. And they continue on for a while, but it sets up Enoughy and Blade coming out. And look, I got to say, and they're going to get into a match with Dyad, but Enoughy and Blade, these guys are close to having it all. Man, they are high flyers. The man, when he jumped over the ring rope, it reminded me of I can't think of his name off the top of my head in WWE, of the track star, the champ's husband. Anyway, they can fly, man. These guys are back and forth. Their moves are good. Their timing seems good. They are a good future tag team that is going to make some noise for sure. But they go into a match with Fowler and Reed, with Dyad, and it is a good match. I mean, these two, these four guys, but these two, Fowler and Reed, are also double tough. They look great in the ring. I believe Fowler may be the taller of the two. But great moves, their timing good, their finishing move at the end where they win the match is freaking fantastic. I mean, these guys are just spot on. Let me tell you, they are spot on. All right, and this is all right. Okay, I can't put this off any longer. All right, it is our weekly Super Diva update on Quincy Elliott. Okay. Quincy Elliott. All right, yep. They had him on a scooter last week when he arrived. This week they're showing some clips of a prior match, and this is what got me. This is the only thing that really got me. Kind of got my goat. Just I did not like it. He climbs up into it goes into the corner and climbs up on the second rope and does the gold dust, breathing out. Do you really want to follow Goldust? Well, maybe he does, but do we need another Goldust? Is it time to revamp or bring back a 2.0 version of Goldust? Are we doing that? I mean, they own it, so I guess they can. I don't know why, but they can. Okay, so... All right, but then they go into a Wendy Choo versus Cora Jade match, and Wendy, I'm about tired of that onesie, and Cora Jade, hey, every week, she's putting in that work because she's getting better. She is getting better, and this is a good match. Wendy, of course, is good in the ring. Her time and her striking ability and everything is good. Her moves off the rope are good, and Cora Jade. Let me tell you, that girl has been tearing it up. I tell you, tearing it up. But they have a good match, solid match. And in the end, Cora Jade ends up winning the match. Okay, so you're thinking that's over. Cora's backing down the runway there and laughing, and Wendy's watching her. And when Wendy turns around, who does she see? Lash Legend. But it's... Miss Legend throws a big old boot up on her, a big foot up on her, and knocks her down, kicks her. And so that, I'm sure, is setting something up on down the road. Okay? Well, let me see. Where do we go after that? Let me see. We had Lash, jumps, Chew, and then we had a Braun. They got a little interview about him, doing about the match coming up, determining his next opponent. Then we got We got Melo and Trick doing a little getting ready to go to the ring. And then I got to talk about this. Man, the influx of these the NXT Europe group. And now I'm not familiar with a lot of them, and that's a good thing in my house, because I get to see something I don't know, so I get to kind of investigate and watch, and it's always good to see something that you don't know. And so they're bringing in Mensa. Mensa, that's what it is. And he does a little promo. He's from Ghana in the country of gold. He informs us it is the country of gold. Okay. But he's got a good looking guy, pretty good on the mic and everything. So, where are we going to go from there? Where are we going to go from there? All right. Well, let's see here. And then, okay. So after Mr. Mensa, let me see. All right. Yeah. After Mr. Mensa. That's right. Okay, let me see. So after Mensa, we've got Melo and Trick coming down into the ring, and they are ticked. Man, they are ticked. So they get in, and pretty much Melo tells, fire everybody. I want to fire the guy that rang the bell, the referee that counted me out. I want to fire the guy selling hot dogs, everything. I mean, he wants to fire everybody. And they do good with the stick. And so when you do that good, and you're having that much fun for that period of time out on screen, it usually means something is coming up. And in this case, we have Chase University. So Brother Chase and Bodie and the young lady, they all come down, and they're explaining, that it's that kind of moment. And Melo lets them know, don't say it, man. There's some serious stuff going on right now. We don't have time to play. And, of course, that means they're coming to the ring. So, with that being said, they end up climbing in the ropes. And what happens after that but a Chase U match? So, anyway, now that's a good match. Chase U looks good. Bodie, man, they say he's an ex-linebacker, supposedly maybe in college. He has that look. He even does a football move, He puts a torture rack on, a Lex Luger torture rack on him. But he walks directly over towards Melo in the ring, where he can, of course, tag him. And that leads to a big clothesline. And, I'm going to say, now, Trick has gotten better and better. I was on his case a few weeks ago, but I've got to say, Trick has gotten better and better each week. There's several of the wrestlers that have done that, so I give credit where credit is due. But it ends up where it looks like Melo's going to win the match. And, so everything's going his way, their way, and then what happens? But a little change in plans, and Melo gets pinned by Chase. Melo gets pinned 2 weeks in a row, the last two matches he's had. So with that, Chase and them, they're running up into the stands, doing the big U sign, raising Cain, having a good time. It's going to be party at the local sorority or fraternity, whatever it may be. And so Melo, of course, is freaking out too. So, all right, from there, let me see. We had, well, they had their match, and let me see how we had this. It was, I got to say that Chase did get to use his where he does the stomp, and I call it back in my day, it was a Ronnie Garvin stomp, and Randy Orton has perfected it, and he doesn't use it as much as he used to, but he used to do his own version of the stomp like that. But Garvin was great at it, and when I say the stomp, it's he goes around and hits each body part. Like if you got a hand laying out, he's going to hit your hand, he's going to hit your ankle, he's going to hit, whatever it may be, but that was really good. And as I said afterwards, I told you Melo was jumping around and everything. That his facial expressions, they look for real. They were looking up at Chase and the guys up in the stands with the U sign. They had the real legit, like, man, next time I see you, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. All right. But all right, so after this, they've got the big Sangha coming down, and when you got big Sangha coming down, and look, I got to say, I got to do it. I just can't. I can't take it. I've got to do it. Sangha has got to have the best lining, or somebody, when you line somebody's like mustache or something like that, whoever's lining his chest hair is doing a fantastic job. Somebody mentioned that to me. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that to me that that he had that line. And, when somebody mentions something to you, you start paying more attention to it. So it became a big joke that night or tonight. So, so they show Big Sangha going out, heading towards the ring, and they go to a commercial break. And, of course, they're going to come back with Briggs and Jensen kind of invading Gallus's pub. And pretty much telling them, look, we thought we done whooped you and sent you on your way. And Gallus is saying, hey, we kind of like it around here. We can dig it. We could stay here for a while. So the security has to show up and separate them. And of course, Briggs and Jensen's telling them they should. They're going to put them through the tables. I think they referenced it one time, but good little spot. They keep saying they made it look good for the security because they didn't act like they were trying to break through a little arm out in front of you. They were like, well, we're not here to start anything. We just wanted to, have a little talk, just talk a little bit. But that was good little promo. But that's leading into the big guys. You're going to have Big Sangha and Von Wagner. With Mr. Stone. But Sangha and Von Wagner, when you got that much meat, Wagner's got to be about 6'8". Sanga's probably 6'6". 300-pound guys, or way up in the 200s. So that match, is going to be good, and it was. It was a good match. Both of them slanging and banging. Those big guys, they get in and got out on the outside, and when they got on the outside, it turned. Sangha was doing good, and then Mr. Stone wants to get involved, and he gets caught. And, of course, that allows time for Von Wagner to recuperate and jump him from behind, slam his head into the pole a few times, about three times, and then slams him into the stairs. You got to use the stairs with the big guys. Because they can move them. When you throw a little guy and the steps don't move, he's really got to put his shoulder or something into it to, to get it to move. But you ain't got to do that with the big boys. Anyway, it was a good match. But what was surprising was how quick the match actually was. You got what was I saying? With those, I know they're not going to put on a long 25-30 minute match. They're not conditioned for that. But they did put on a hell of a good match. As I said, Sangha got thrown around there a little bit, and that caused for the win for Von Wagner. But I said it was not as long as I thought it was going to be. But it is what it is. Okay. With Wes Lee now, bringing Wes Lee in for an interview, or not an interview, for a promo, explaining that, there was a rumor going around that he could have avoided, he could have been just put into the match, that he wanted to win his way in. So quick little Wes Lee interview there. And they even got Stacks talking about Tony D, but Stacks getting little mic work. And they go in, you got Waller comes out, and does his entrance, and they go into a commercial. But then it's, you got Waller and Mensa coming in after this break. And it is a great match, man. These guys, as I said, I didn't know a lot about Mensa. I know they're bringing him over, so of course he's got good ring time, but this was a good match. This was a really, really good match. Now, Grayson Waller always puts on a good match, and he's got his mic work, of course, is ready. It's up to par. They could put him just about, take out Dolph put him in, I mean, I'm not saying that about Dolph. Dolph's great. I love him. But I'm just saying for a good-looking younger guy that put it in, they could just insert. But this match goes back and forth. Everything looks like it's going Waller's way. I mean, the ring ability of Mensa is what surprised me. But they were both on time too. Waller and him both, did a great job on it. I mean, a fantastic job on it. But then Waller does his move, or he does a move and gets out into the runway or to the ramp and is getting ready to do a run back in. Man, he's just like he's getting ready to run back in, do his jump through the ropes, do his signature move, and the match will be over. But he gets stopped in his tracks. You want to know what stopped him? You want to know? You want to know? Kind of surprised me. Kind of liked it. It's Apollo. Apollo Creed is back. And what was wrong with Apollo? Why did he stop him in his tracks? It's because he had a bloody eye. Reference to their last match, maybe. But it was really good, They had a little blood, looked like it was trickling down and everything, and freaked old Grayson out, and he gets into the ring, and Mensa gets to put a couple moves on him, and bam, Mensa wins. So that is setting up, I know, a Waller and Creed match upcoming. So then they go into with a little promo with the Creed brothers. Now, they're beating the hell out of something, in the gym. They're just beating that. So whenever they show them, usually, they're just beating the hell out of some tackle dummy or some pad or something. And they get in a little argument going, Julius wants the match. They go back and forth where Julius is not going to get the match because of what happened to his brother's face. So he tells his brother, don't just whoop him, end his career. So that's what they're shooting for. But after that, they bring Braun out with a cancer patient and do a quick little, nice little promo, little camera op. And then it is set up for the Tyler Bates JD match. And this match did not disappoint. Now, you can tell the chemistry between these guys because they were doing these, I call them roll around moves. It's a lot of the moves that they do on the mat, move for move, flip overs, and it's all, in different positions or whatever like that, but it is a lot of timing, and these guys had timing. Just back and forth. I mean, Tyler is just a freaking monster. And JD was throwing move after move. They get thrown down onto the announcing table where Braun is doing some commentary. And is Braun okay on the mic? I mean, they're getting him there, I guess, okay. But this match was going good. When at one time JD gets thrown on the announcing table and his head's upside down and he's just grinning like, I love pain. So, and man, I got to say, before I forget about it, JD's entrance was really good. I liked all the little gothic kind of weird things they had on his entrance, so that was good. But anyway, the match was fantastic. It is move for move. I mean, as I said, their timing is on. It is a must-see watch. This is a B-plus match. And the Waller, I didn't grade Waller and Mensa, but that was a B. Definitely a B match. With maybe a plus because of Apollo. So, but this match was B plus just because it was these two guys. And man, they tore it up. But in the end, there has to be a winner. And who was the winner? Let's think about it. Well, Braun had said to Wade during commentary that if he had to pick an opponent, he would like to play, to go against Tyler again, which prompted Wade to say, well, now I'm getting tweets that you're scared of JD, which he said, hey, I'd beat both of them. So they're going back and forth. It looks like Tyler's going to win it, but what happens? But JD wins. All right, and when they pan over to Braun over at the announcing table, he looks like he's a little disappointed, but like, okay, I'm going to climb up in this ring and represent. And he does. He climbs up into the ring, and they're looking at each other, doing the stare at each other and mouthing at each other, and Then there is an interruption. Well, yeah, an interruption. There is a break in the crowd. There's a change in the tone, and the room is changing. What is going on? Elia Draganov. I'm sure y'all do because I haven't been watching, like I said, a lot of the European guys, but man, this guy looks the part. The crowd was going crazy, so I guess we're going to have a third wheel when it comes to the championship, because McDonough just looked just totally, he was screaming, no, he doesn't want him in NXT. So he announced himself, said howdy to everybody. So now we have another person getting involved. All right. So, hey, man, the show, I can't say, too bad. I'm going to give it a C. I'm going to give it a C, So you can't complain about a C, can you? Can you? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But anyway, there again, each week it seems that we're starting to see a little more of a fingerprint of Triple H getting involved. And I guess maybe, with his, with Shawn Michaels starting the show out and some of these new guys coming in, hey, who knows what we'll see in the future. But NXT will be okay. Everybody can say all they want to. NXT will be okay. These guys are really turning it on. And, man, I may even try to go down to, I believe it's Jacksonville or Orlando, wherever they're at, and catch a show coming up after the first of the year. Who knows? But, all right, guys, let me see. We got through with the show. I haven't forgotten that y'all been sending me some tweets and questions, and this one is from John Witherstone, okay? And he wants to know how old was I when I went to my first wrestling match and what got me into it. My age, man, I had to be, it was somewhere in the first grade. I can tell you that, so probably around 6 years old, and we watched my mother. God bless her soul. She believed everything. She loved the Inquirer, and most people won't know what that is, but it's an old gossip newspaper, and she believed in her wrestling. And every Saturday morning, when Memphis Wrestling came on, there we were. And then even when I got older, man, my friends would all come over, and it was a thing to hang out over at my house and watch my mom get so excited over watching wrestling. And I miss that. And so I hope every one of you has some type of a cool little story about the first time you, got involved, or you can remember when you saw your first wrestling match. So, all right, well, we've knocked out this, we've knocked out that. Now I believe we are about done. Let me see, what is this? Yeah, that's right. I did want to give a shout out. He did not want me to mention his name, but I've started getting some inside info from a great gentleman that is new to me, and he's only been wrestling about 5 or 6 years, but he is in, let's just say, another organization, and so he can hopefully get me some get me some dirt later on, man. So anyway, it's funny who you can meet at a tattoo shop, and especially if you don't have any tattoos. I used to be called Ghost because I had no tattoos. But anyway, that is another story for another day. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're going to end this up for this Tuesday show of NXT. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and as of course you have to, if you can rescue, please do. But spay and neuter. And as always, this is Memphis Mark, and you know what? I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.